नमस्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे. You already know today's subject, Dharma, how important it is. So in our culture, we know what is Dharma, the meaning of the word Dharma. It's very difficult to define. It's a Sanskrit word. So it's very difficult to define it in English. There is no one single word which connotes, which conveys the entire meaning of Dharma in Sanskrit. There is no single word in English. The nearest word could be righteous conduct. So, how are we to define Dharma? Dharma is that way of life or conduct which helps us to travel towards the truth. Dharma is that way of life or conduct which helps us to go towards the truth. Truth we have discussed. Truth is consciousness. Truth is God. Truth is that entity which is real. Real means that entity which is permanent, which doesn't decay with time, which is not subject to change, which is absolute knowledge, which is absolute ananda, absolute happiness also. There is immortality. So that is truth. To attain to that state, to progress towards that highest state, we need to practice dharma. Dharma is the way, dharma is the path, dharma is the means by which you attain to that highest state. What happens if you don't practice dharma? During Swamiji's Jnana Yoga talks, we discussed. So Swamiji talks about involution and evolution. Involution means you go back. Evolution means you move forward, right? We have also discussed the Darwinian theory of evolution here. Darwin has brought us up to man, and what next? What after man? We have come from chimpanzee, okay, from single cell amoeba to actually multi-cell organisms, and then tissues, then complex organisms, and more complex and more complex. The most complex species on the planet Earth is man, human being. Then where we'll go hereafter? Where are we to go? Is it that after a million years, human being will evolve into some other species, a more intelligent species, with more hands and more legs? Will that happen? No. We have discussed, we have studied this. Organic evolution stops with man. Hereafter, there is no further organic evolution. So hereafter, it is intellectual and spiritual evolution. For example, people like Vivekananda, Shankaracharya, all the mystics, when you look up at their lives, we consider them as Purna Purushas, perfect beings, the people who have attained total fulfillment. Through this human instrument only they have attained that. Okay? Through this form only they have attained. Through this mind only they have attained. So that attainment, beyond which there is nothing to attain, is the absolute. So through this instrument, you all have that possibility to attain to the highest. Highest in the sense that after attaining which there is nothing more to attain. So only for this instrument it is possible. So from human being onwards, the evolution is intellectual and spiritual evolution. So this human body is actually, and mind is fit to help us to reach to that state. So involution and evolution. By practicing dharma, by engaging ourselves in right action, we will progress slowly towards that state. What happens if you don't practice dharma, if you transgress dharma, if you don't conduct yourself in a rightful manner? You will go back. Go back means what? Next birth may not be a human birth also. Okay? Next birth may not be a human birth. If you do too much of wrong action, a bad action, there's no guarantee that you will get human embodiment again. So that's why it's important So we need to practice dharma. So what are the forces actually that help us to practice dharma? And what are the forces that are inimical or which act against our practicing dharma? We need to understand. So what are the aids? What are the helps that we have got to practice dharma? All our rishis actually have said in one voice that detachment and renunciation is the greatest aid that we have to practice dharma. If you're too attached to the world and things of the world, it will be very difficult for you to practice dharma. So, first of all, you have to make up your mind. Are you really sincere? Are you serious about practicing dharma? You'll be able to practice it. Temptation has always been there, right? There was never a time, there was no temptation and the people could easily practice dharma. It would always be there. But you'll be able to overcome that temptation. You'll be able to overcome that pull of the world only when you are very passionate about practicing dharma. And you will be very passionate about practicing dharma when moksha or attaining the absolute becomes your goal. I want to become like Buddha. I want to become like Vivekananda. I want to attain to that total fulfillment in this birth itself. And you're really passionate about that. So you'll be serious about dharma. So, in our culture, we talk about this four purusharthas, chaturvida purusharthas there. So, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Every human being should strive for all these: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So, dharma actually is righteous conduct, artha and kama, wealth and desires. You can enjoy them, but while you engage in action to possess these two, wealth and actually satisfying one's desires, you must not transgress dharma. If you transgress dharma in order to attain artha and kama, wealth and fulfillment of desires, you will not be able to attain mukti. What happens if I don't attain mukti? You will be reborn. What kind of rebirth I will get? Again, I say, may not be human birth. So to get human birth also, you need to have sufficient quantum of, punya to your credit, punya in your account. When you perform good actions, selfless actions, when you do spiritual sadhana, that goes into your account as punya karma, okay, spiritual merit. That will help you to evolve further. Next birth would be a human birth and a great birth, in the sense that you will be endowed with the capacity to practice sadhana. Now you just see the kind of willpower that Buddha had. When he sat in meditation, he sat in meditation. Let me actually attain enlightenment or die in the attempt. Do we have that kind of strength, that kind of willpower? We don't have, right? The kind of penance that Sri Ramakrishna had practiced, the kind of penance that direct disciples and the sannyasin disciples of Sri Ramakrishna had practiced. We don't have that much of strength, that much of willpower to practice penance. They got it from their previous birth because they did a lot of tapas and meritorious acts in their previous lives. In this birth, when they got this human embodiment, they had that willpower to do that penance and sadhana, and so they could attain enlightenment. So it is a continuous journey. If you are very clear about this journey, it becomes easy for us to practice dharma. We know India actually is dharma bhumi, where people are oriented towards dharma. That is, we are very passionate about practicing dharma. So we know the total scheme of things, the divine scheme of things. From hereafter, where you will grow. Most of the Western societies are today in confusion because they don't know what after human being, where we will go, what next, what next. Darwinian theory of evolution we study and we have come up to here. What next? What after human being? Physical evolution, organic evolution is not going to happen. It has ceased. It is over. It's over. It is after here spiritual evolution. You can attain perfection through this embodiment itself. So again and again, any number of times you may be born, but you will be born only as a human being, as not as some other species. Maybe after a billion years, but again only human species only will be there. You don't have to evolve into further species because this human embodiment has the capacity, is endowed with the necessary capacity to bring man to the absolute. So practicing dharma becomes important from that point of view. When you want to attain immortality, when you want to become deathless, when you want to attain to the highest state of bliss or ananda or happiness, we have to practice dharma. Otherwise, practicing dharma is very difficult because if you don't set this goal before you, namely attaining moksha or freedom, practicing dharma becomes very difficult. We keep compromising at every stage. So do we have examples who have practiced dharma in spite of the greatest temptations? Yes. We have got enormous n number of examples in our scriptures and Puranas. In modern India also, contemporary society also we have people. Maybe the number is less, percentage is less, but there are. And that's the reason, as I said, the greatest aid for an individual to practice dharma is detachment and renunciation. But unfortunately, in today's society, when you talk about detachment and renunciation, people get frightened. They think actually there are negative things. No, because when you don't want many things for yourself, it becomes easy for you to practice dharma, right? So when you want less from the world, from the society, when your desires, the material desires are minimum, it becomes easy for you to practice dharma, to practice truthfulness, to practice kindness, to practice compassion. But these things will help you to attain moksha. They have value in it. If you don't see value in cultivating these things like truthfulness, kindness and compassion, so then there's no way you will stick to dharma. There's no way you will aspire for moksha, and there's no guarantee that you will get human birth again. So hereafter, both evolution and involution can take place. You may progress further into higher human being, or you may come down. You may slip to the level of an animal also. So that's the reason the law of karma comes into force. God has given us the faculty of discretion, faculty of discrimination. By using that, by using that, we must adjust our action. We alone have the capacity. As Swamiji says, any action that makes you go Godward is a good action. And any action that takes you away from God, away from the truth, away from the absolute, is a wrong action, is a bad action. How am I to know which is a good action and which is a bad action? You may ask. So any action that helps you to go towards the truth, towards the absolute, is a good action, and any action that takes you away from the truth actually is a bad action. So use this definition for a good action and bad action, and see that actually you engage yourself always in good actions. See, we come with certain samskaras or certain tendencies into the world. Okay, we have a kind of orientation. Our mind actually naturally gets oriented towards certain things because of the tendencies that we have acquired from the previous lives. But you can change the software. You can change the tendencies just by the power of the will, through prayer, through sadhana. All these things will help us. We can actually change the samskaras, and that will help us actually to practice dharma easily. So, as Swamiji says that the society is not allowing, it's very difficult. I know that many people say that in this world, in this contemporary society, is it possible? Can we talk about things like dharma? So, it is difficult, definitely, but not impossible. And as Swamiji says, truth doesn't pay homage to any society, ancient or modern. Society has to pay homage to truth or die, he said. The society is dying because they are not able, people are, or individuals in the society are not able to practice dharma. The truth actually doesn't go before us and say that. It doesn't pay homage to us. It's saying that as you are not able to practice dharma, actually, so you can give up dharma. Truth won't say that. You have to orient your societies in such a way that practicing dharma becomes easy. We had such societies in the past, for example, Vedic India. People would live on bare minimum. For what? So it becomes easy for me to practice kindness and compassion. I want very less and very little from this world. So I will not get into competition with anybody. I will not exploit any individual directly or indirectly. So rather, I will come forward to sacrifice my life to give some succor and solace to others. That kind of heroism had come into their hearts because they were so passionate about practicing dharma, and they were very clear about the goal of life, that is mukti or moksha. Giving up life is nothing for them. They would give up the body like a trifle. That much of strength, that much of heroism. Today, if you see, actually, there is so much of physical heroism. People are, there actually to do all kinds of adventures. We climb mountains like Everest, it also involves a lot of adventurous spirit. People are climbing great mountains, mountains that are very height. So that physical courage, that physical, adventures we all see, but that moral adventures, what happened to that? If you want to practice truthfulness, if you don't want to tell a lie, you need to have courage. You need to have that adventurous spirit, then only you'll be able to practice, right? This moral adventure is actually has become very rare in this society. But actually, if you look at our ancients, our forefathers, they had so much of courage. They were so bold. They could embark on this kind of adventure. So it is high time actually more number of people in the society, embark upon this kind of adventure where you're very passionate about practicing dharma. If you just see our ancient India, now actually recently, that groundbreaking ceremony for Ram temple actually happened there in Ayodhya. Rama, for example, why has he become our national hero? Right? Rama of Treta Yuga, why has become national hero? How did he conduct himself? He did not deviate from Dharma. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma, we say. It's an embodiment of Dharma. It's an ideal of perfection, right? It's an epitome of perfection. How an ideal human being should conduct himself or should look like. Rama actually is the epitome. Rama is a role model. How can you say that Rama is our role model? You just see the kind of things and situation and the events that had happened in his life. But in spite of all that pain and agony and the suffering that the nature had threw at him, he held himself to Dharma. Greatest temptation, even at the cost of life. He did not even care for death in the sense that practically death stared at him in the sense. Situations had come to such a pass that for any normal being it would be impossible to bear that kind of situation. But still Rama could endure all that suffering. You know, Kaikeyi conspired against Rama and she was responsible for his exile. So everybody in the palace and in the city of Ayodhya, they were so attached to Rama and they loved Rama with that intensity. But when they heard the news that Rama will not be there with them for the next 14 years and is being exiled by Kaikeyi, they were all dejected. They all burst into, sobbing, deep sobbing. Everybody is weeping, everybody is in distress. But Rama, even in that situation, he tells Kaikeyi, "Oh mother," because he goes to Dasharatha calls him, but Dasharatha was not able to tell him that you have to go to the forest. He's so intensely attached to his eldest son that how it would be possible for Dasharatha to send Rama to forest is impossible, right? He was not able to express, he was not able to tell. Then Mother Kaikeyi says that he is not able to tell. He wants you to go to the forest for 14 years. And so she herself actually announces what Rama has to do. And Rama says actually, okay, father is not able to tell. You yourself could have told me directly. Why are you troubling Dasharatha, old man? You have lost faith in me, mother, he says. And a woman actually who has conspired against him, Rama was able to love her. And he says to Lakshmana, you see, till the other day, she used to love all of us equally. She used to love all of us the same way. Just as she loved Bharata, she loved me also. Suddenly, actually, her conduct has changed. Suddenly, she has become so aggressive. Right? So she has become just an instrument in the hands of the divine, he says. All creatures on this planet Earth are instruments in the hands of the divine. We are utterly helpless. Okay, Rama, when he is saying that everybody is an instrument, helpless instruments in the divine, you can see the total surrender that he had attained there. Absolute surrender to the will of the divine. He himself actually was divine, but he was setting an example to us how to conduct. So he absolutely surrendered to the will of the Supreme. And he said he had no issues with Kaikeyi also. He did not get angry and he did not scold her. Okay, everybody else scolded her, including her own son Bharata. Not ordinary scolding. Bharata scolding Kaikeyi you can't bear. So, but Rama was absolutely, calm, absolutely tranquil in the midst of such a situation. Next day would be coronated, but actually by evening he was asked to go to the forest, but still it did not affect his peace of mind. He was so detached. At the same time, so loving and so kind, so compassionate, and conducted himself so well and practiced dharma in the midst of that kind of agony also. He says to Lakshmana, everybody is helpless in that way. See, don't get angry with Kaikeyi, Mother Kaikeyi. She is not at fault, he says. To forgive Kaikeyi in that situation. She is not at fault, he says. She is just a helpless instrument in the hands of the divine. What she can do, poor lady. So don't get angry with her. Everybody else got angry, including Vasishtha. Because Mother Kaikeyi insisted that. And Sita said that I will also accompany you. And she says that she also has to go to the forest. And she says that she also has to wear the bark garments. And Vasishtha intervenes. You are crossing all the limits, Kaikeyi. Rama will be banished, Rama will go. Why are you insisting on Sita also going to the forest? And why are you insisting that she should wear bark garments? And when Rama was given bark garments, he put on the bark garments, and Lakshmana had put on the bark garments. But when the bark garments were given to Sita, and because she actually bent her head low and tells Rama that I don't know how to wear these bark garments because I have never put on them. And how the people in the forest and the hermitages they wear the bark garments, I don't know, she said. Narachira, we say. Okay. Then Rama draped these bark garments upon her in front of all the women of the palace. They all burst into deep sob. And she showed and she draped it around her on her silk saree. That was a situation which Vasishtha also could not bear. Everything else he could bear, but this situation he could not bear, and she warns Kaikeyi. When Rama goes to the forest, all the people of Ayodhya also will accompany him and will go to the forest. If Rama is there, the forest also becomes a kingdom. When Rama is not, the kingdom also becomes a forest. So nobody will be with you, including your son, O lady. Vasishtha says, your son also will not appreciate this action of yours. He will also follow Rama. He will also go to the forest. So you will only rule empty houses and he says actually the barren trees, trees that have no foliage. You will only rule empty houses. Nobody will be there in the kingdom. All the people in the Ayodhya will go to forest along with Rama, and your son also will not be here. So because Vasishtha also became angry when she insisted that Sita also should wear bark garments. So that was the situation. But Rama, how did he conduct himself? That's why he becomes our national hero. To forgive somebody actually who is conspiring against oneself. You just try to place yourself in Rama's situation and imagine how you will react placed in that kind of situation. Will you be able to forgive Kaikeyi? Will you be able to forgive Kaikeyi? You will become very angry. But Rama could do that because he had no attachment for kingdom, no attachment for the throne, no desire to sit on the throne and rule over the people. Absolutely detached. Whatever might come from nature, whatever the nature might throw at me, but I will not lose my composure, or I will not lose my tranquility of mind. He could, he demonstrated, he exhibited. So we worship Rama. Rama has become our hero because of this reason, because of the extraordinary strength that he had exhibited. We all want that kind of strength. Unconsciously, that has been our longing, right? We all want to have the same kind of strength that Rama had displayed. So, how to gain that kind of strength? Actually, we need to pray to the divine, and also through dispassion and detachment comes that kind of strength. He did not go to forest. Rama was in the midst of the society, but because of the deep detachment and deep and highest degree of renunciation that he had, so nothing of this world had affected his mind. He was all the time actually calm and composed. So just see actually how many tragedies had happened in his life, but still conducted himself, never lost his cool, never got angry with others, never ridiculed others, never criticized others, never gave pain to others. He bore the pain with great fortitude, exhibited highest kind of forgiveness and fortitude and forbearance, but he never inflicted pain on any being. And that is actually the strength, the real strength. We all actually long for that kind of strength. We have other great examples also. In the Yaksha Prashna, Yudhishthira, you know the story, how actually Yaksha wanted to ask questions to other brothers of Yudhishthira. They refused to answer his questions and they want to take water from that pond. They all fall down. And then the last actually, the Yudhishthira sends them to fetch, little water. But they could not because of the Yaksha. They did not listen to Yaksha when the Yaksha warned him not to, warned them actually not to get into the pond. This is I own it. If you want to take water from that, first you need to answer my questions. So they refused to answer his questions and they tried to get into the pond, and because of Yaksha's power, they fell unconscious. Oh, last actually, Yudhishthira goes and Yaksha says that you have to answer my questions before you want to drink water from this pond. Yes, you ask the questions. I will answer. So there, after all the questions were answered to the satisfaction of Yaksha, he was immensely pleased with the answers of Yudhishthira. And then now he says, out of the four of your brothers, one brother actually, I'll bring back life. Okay? Only one will become alive. So choose one. Last test. So immediately Yudhishthira says, let Nakula be alive. Nakulo yakshajivato. Without batting an eyelid, actually. Okay, he did not think whether whom to should I choose. Should I choose Bhima? Should I choose Arjuna? Should I choose Nakula, Sahadeva? Whom should I choose? Oh, give me some time. Okay, oh Yaksha, let me choose. Nothing of that sort. Without batting an eyelid, he said, Nakulo yaksha jivato. The Yaksha was surprised. Okay, Bhima and Arjuna, they are your own brothers because Dharmaraja, Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, they were born of Kunti. Okay, Pandu had, his father had two wives, Kunti and Madri. And Nakula and Sahadeva, they were born of Madri. So your own brothers actually, born of the same mother, Kunti, Bhima, and Arjuna. They were there, but why did you choose Nakula in preference to Bhima and Arjuna? Arjuna is such a great warrior because Yudhishthira, after all, the king. King needs a warrior by his side, actually. A great prowess. To rule a kingdom, actually, to ward off your enemies, actually, you need to have a person like Arjuna. But all these things, all these calculations did not get into the mind of Yudhishthira. He just had asked for, let Nakula be alive. Then he says, and my father actually has two wives, Kunti and Madri. Kunti's eldest son, I am alive. So it is natural justice that Madri's eldest son, Nakula, also is alive. It's a natural justice. He did not think even for a second actually to pronounce this, what I need to ask of Yaksha. So that's the reason actually Yudhishthira has become a hero. Dharma Raja, an embodiment of Dharma. In Mahabharata, this Dharma Raja is there. In Ramayana, we have Rama actually is Dharma Raja, an embodiment of Dharma. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma, they say. There actually beautifully says, Yudhishthira says, because the Yaksha actually prods him further and says that, how come that you have chosen Nakula in preference to, you know, Arjuna and Bhima? And Yudhishthira says, Dharma eva hato hanti, dharmo rakshati rakshitah, tasma dharmam na chalishyami. So, I don't want to transgress dharma. Dharma eva hato hanti. If you transgress dharma, if you kill dharma, so it is like death knell to you. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. If you protect dharma, you will be protected. So tasma dharmam na charishyami. Mano dharmo hatovadit, he says. If I transgress dharma, that transgression might turn into a death knell for me. So I don't want to seek any kind of death if I transgress dharma at any point of time in my life. So that is death. Let death come upon me. That is preferable than this transgression. So people had that kind of strength where they would not care for life, but they were so passionate about practicing dharma. Dharma is so important for them, it's more than life. All these great heroes, they had exhibited that kind of courage and strength to us. By reading them, actually, by meditating on them constantly, we also gain that kind of strength. And of course, as I have said, the greatest aids for practicing dharma is this renunciation and detachment, perfect detachment. How the renunciation and detachment comes, okay, that also we have discussed here. When you meditate on death, okay, I keep repeating this again and again, why Swami talks about death and again. If you remember death all the time, what happens actually? Dispassion comes automatically. Vairagya becomes natural. Dispassion and detachment comes to the individual naturally when you meditate on death, when you think about death all the time. It's not a pessimistic attitude. Practicing dharma becomes very easy for the individuals. But now, today, we think that we are going to be here for eternity. Everybody thinks that. Life has become more real to us than death. It's a fact, right? Life has become more real for us than death because though they are obverse and reverse of the same coin, we don't actually factor in death when you actually make plans and other things. As life has become more real, so we keep aside death. But actually, they are all obverse and both are obverse and reverse of the same coin, and death is following actually us like a shadow. It is as real as life. It is as real as life. So when you're conscious of death all the time, dispassion and detachment comes. People think that that is a negative way of thinking, a pessimistic way of thinking. Swamiji, how can we develop if you always think about death? Is it not a negative way of thinking? That is a question, right? But that is the truth. That is a fact of life. It is very close to us. It's following us like a shadow. Now, actually, the virus is telling us the truth is telling, grand truth it is telling, not ordinary truth. Okay. So then you make plans. So if I remember death all the time, it's not possible for me to plan for life. People think that no. In fact, you truly live only when you remember death all the time. When you remember death all the time, you are not attached to anything of this world, including your own body. Okay, not that we want to die immediately, but there is that probability. Okay, it's following us like a shadow. So I remember that all the time. Not that I want to die immediately. I wish to live long. Okay, I wish to live long, but I know that actually it can come to me at any time. I may be caught unawares. So when that is there in your mind, practicing detachment becomes easy. Then you really, totally you live. Every day you're ready. Today, if Yama comes, I'm ready to get out of the world. You're prepared, your mind like that. And then total detachment comes. When you have that total detachment, you truly live. Life becomes actually more joyful for you because you're not attached to anything of this world. Otherwise, what happens? You're attached to so many things actually. You don't actually factor in death, you don't consider death. Suddenly, something happens to somebody in the family, then you're crushed upon, you reject it. But it's always there. So meditating on death actually helps us to cultivate dispassion and detachment. People think that dispassion and detachment means going away from things. No, you are in the midst of things, you are in the midst of the people, you have relationships, all those things, but you are not attached to any of them. So in the Mahabharata, there is a beautiful sloka. See, यथा प्रयान्ति संयान्ति स्रोतवेगेन वालुकाः samyujjante viyujjante tatha kalena dehinaha yata prayanti samyanti srota vegena valukaha. Valukaha means sand particles. So in a current of water, in a river, the sand particles, they come together and they get separated, right? Constantly, because there is a flow, current actually. There is energy actually. The hydraulic action of water is there all the time. So the sand particles, they flow together and then they get separated like that. Srota vegena valukaha. Samyujjante viyujjante tatha kalena dehinaha. So human bodies also, okay, they come together and they get separated. You have a family of 4 or 5. So if one person actually something happens, death happens actually. So that relationship is dissolved. So time brings these 4 people together and time separates them right again. So you have to remember all these actually. Time brings us together and time separates us. Last birth we had different relationships, different people were in our family, and this birth we have got different set of people in our family, and next birth actually we have a different set of people in our family. So this is a continuous stream actually. So because you forget all that, previous birth you don't remember, and again that's the next birth also we don't want to consider. This is the only thing that, what happens if something happens to some of our family members? It is a tragedy. Okay, intense distress comes to us because we don't want to live in reality. We want to live in our own delusion. That is the problem. So that's the reason actually. If you meditate on death, you will develop detachment. You are in the world. You do things. And also the problem is, Rama could conduct himself in that way because he had the consciousness always that actually everybody is an instrument in the hands of the divine. This is all his play. For example, we have this consciousness all the time. We are in the world. This is just a divine play, sport, or leela of the Lord. All the time we have that awareness. Will you take anything so seriously? Will anything of this world will affect you if you have that awareness all the time? Definitely not. But somehow you forget that it's all play, it's all leela of the Lord. When you forget that it's all play and leela, definitely everything you take it so seriously. So you need to bring some ease into our lives. You will be able to bring that ease into our lives only when you know that actually everybody is dancing to the tune of the divine helplessly. So Rama had that consciousness, that's why he could conduct himself in that way. So people think that, no, if everything I see as play, then how can I actually achieve big things in life? No. To see everything as divine play doesn't mean actually you should become frivolous. There are two different things. Okay, everybody is acting according to the will of the divine, helplessly. That's one idea and understanding. And people think that if everything is play, then why should I take it seriously? No, not that. Let me become frivolous. There are two different things. You don't get confused. You are there in the midst of things. You have the awareness that everything is a play of the divine. So you are totally detached and the behavior of the people will not affect you. At the same time, you are totally involved. People understand it wrongly. When I say that actually it is all play, that I don't want to involve. No, you have to play the role that God has given you with total involvement. There is no option, right? There is no option. You cannot get away from that. You have to play the role that God has given you sincerely, as best as you can, and with total involvement. You can't become frivolous there. At the same time, you must have this awareness all the time that you are an helpless instrument in the hands of the divine. So then things will not affect you at all. All the time you can maintain your composure and tranquility. And we worship Rama because of this reason actually. How that could be possible to Rama, and why can't we actually conduct ourselves in the same way? So what it is to worship Rama, this is the kind of strength that we need to develop, and that strength comes to you through detachment and through dispassion. And detachment and dispassion comes through meditation and death, because death is also a reality, just as life, also death. Death is as real as life. And once you have this awareness, the fear will go away because I am prepared. I am here totally involved. At the same time, I am prepared. If call comes from the other world, I am ready to quit. So that means you are not attached to anybody and anything of the world. Then it is real life. Then it's actually life of peace, and then it's a life of fulfillment. Then actually nothing of this world will affect your tranquility, will affect your calmness of mind. And when people look upon that, such an individual, they admire him as a divine. How come actually this is possible for this individual? How I would behave if I had been placed in the same circumstances? Then you know that, oh, he is exhibiting extraordinary strength. You know how you conduct yourself when you are placed in such a situation. But here is an individual absolutely unruffled, absolutely tranquil. A tragedy struck him, but still actually did not affect his mind at all. He doesn't feel the suffering at all. He is a hero. And that heroism actually we can all manifest in our lives, provided you conduct yourself in a detached spirit. And that becomes possible only when you meditate on death. So when our people ask us to meditate on death, to remember on death, They don't mean actually, it's anything negative or, they have a pessimistic attitude. You need to understand Vedanta doesn't talk about pessimism or optimism. Vedanta is a statement of fact. This is a reality. This is how life is designed. Oh man, actually realize this, understand this. Then actually no suffering of this world will touch you. So this is how you need to conduct yourself. This is how you need to have, think. You need to understand these things. So it is not actually cultivating dispassion and detachment becomes possible only when you meditate on death. So it is not a negative thing at all. So you become utterly fearless. That kind of fearlessness we must aspire for. You're totally involved. You actually put in the best of the effort to gain the things of the world, but yet detached. If something happens, okay, fine, it's okay. I'm ready to quit. So, but so then I cannot make plans for the future. You make plans for future, you have. But even if the plan actually doesn't get executed, the things have not happened the way you have willed or wished, it doesn't matter for me. I'm just an helpless instrument in this great play of the divine. So you have the awareness it's a play and you're playing your role helplessly, and it is He, you are here as an instrument of that divine. When this understanding is there upon you, and it doesn't take much time for you to realize your spiritual truth, that you are one with that Supreme Spirit, you are one with that consciousness. When mind actually goes beyond these pairs of opposites, we say dvandvas, and then you touch the consciousness. As long as the mind is stuck in the dvandvas, the pairs of opposites, likes and dislikes, superior, inferior, uh, definitely kama, krodha, all these opposites actually, light and darkness, pain and pleasure, uh, praise and censure, you get affected by all these, right? So when you go beyond all these things, because you're just an helpless instrument in the hands of the divine, of then you will attain, you will touch that consciousness. Because without these pairs of opposites, mind cannot exist. Mind is made up of these pairs, and these pairs are not affecting you means your reaction is same, both praise and censure, and then the mind cannot survive for long because you are not actually supporting it. You are not reacting to opposites, and then it will disappear, and then you will touch the consciousness, the real personality, the truth in your own being, that is actually immortality. So we all have to aspire consciously for that immortality. And this is the only land, this is the only culture which has set such loftiest goal before it and has been striving, from time immemorial to attain to that highest ideal. Millions of people have tried, and we also need to try. But today we have become so materialistic and we have forgotten this great ideal of attaining moksha or mukti. So this is ours is actually Dharma Bhumi. That's why we call ours actually Dharma Bhumi. Dharma Bhumi and Karma Bhumi. The Karma Bhumi means hereafter actually you conduct your karma, actually the spiritual karma. You don't care for so much of this material karma. So you're interested only in the highest reality. Nothing else will attract you. The things of this world will not attract you. We're all the descendants of yogis. We're all descendants of rishis. So we have so many examples in our scriptures who conducted themselves according to dharma in the midst of the greatest temptations. Not only Rama, if you just see actually, his brothers also, Lakshmana actually, Bharata. How did Bharata conduct himself? So the mother actually offered the kingdom actually in a golden platter. Did he take? Bharata, unasked and unsought, the kingdom has come. His mother actually has won the kingdom for him without his having to exert himself. So what did he take? No, he did not take it. And he said to her, oh, you have transgressed dharma. You are a Kshatriya woman, you know the dharma of a Kshatriya. And how much actually he argued with his mother, how much of anguish he felt. Because he is, attached to mother. After all, he is a mother. Why actually your mind actually is working like this? How come actually you have behaved in this way? That great king, the king who had attained enormous good reputation of father, Dasharatha, he has died because of you. And Rama, my beloved brother, how much he used to love you. He loved you as much as he loved his mother Kausalya. How could you banish him to the forest? How he could become so heartless all of a sudden? You are a Kalaratri, he says, a dark night that has come upon the city of Ayodhya. And say, Kaikeyi Narakam Gacha. Generally, we don't call our mothers by name. But he says, Narakam Gacha, you go to hell. Because of the conduct, the bad conduct, wrong conduct, you transgress dharma. The pain that the son has undergone is immense. And he says, Aham hi Purusha Vyagran Apashyan Rama Lakshmano Kena Shakti Prabhavena Rajyam Rakshitu Musahe Aham hi Purusha Vyagran. They are actually the best among men. Narashardhula, Rama and Lakshmana. Without the help of these two, without the aid of these two, how can I protect this kingdom? And he says, a yoke that only a strong bull can bear. How a calf can bear that? I am just a calf. Rama actually is that bull. He can take upon that yoke, the yoke of ruling the kingdom. So he says, he criticizes his mother and he rebukes her for all her conduct. You are born a Kshatriya. You know actually the tradition of the Ikshvaku lineage, where the eldest of the brother actually becomes the king automatically. That is an established custom. It's an established custom. Then how could you seek the kingdom for me while the elder brother is alive and is actually more capable than any of us three, any of our other brothers? How? How could you transgress dharma like this? So much of pain and anguish the Bharata had suffered. I will go to the forest and I will bring Rama back and I will become his servant. I will serve him for life. And he says that I can't see your face actually. You have become this Kalaratri. It's enormous actually. You will actually suffer from the sin of infanticide, he said. And you will not attain sayujya with your husband actually. All that actually promised for a woman actually who is Sahadharmacharini, who conducts, you know, who helps actually his husband practice dharma. All that actually great things that such women would attain, and you will not be able to attain, he says. You have brought disrepute to me. In so many ways, Bharata grieves, and then he goes to bring Rama. So on the way, actually, he meets Guha, and Guha actually is seeing the way actually Bharata was weeping. He gets surprised. He says that Dhanyastvam natvaya tulyam pasyami jagati tale ayatnat agatam rajyam yastvam tyaktu mihechasi. Ayatnat agatam rajyam. Without your effort, you have got the kingdom. But now actually you want to give that up. So dhanyastvam, you are a very fortunate guy. Pashyami jagati tale. It's very difficult to see people of your caliber and your kind who are so passionate about practicing dharma. And also, when Bharata goes to Rama, he says actually, Satyenaham shepe rajan swargabhogi na chaivahi na kamaye yatha rajyam tvam vina raghunandana. Satyenaham shepe rajan, oh Rama, oh brother, I'm telling you, I'm speaking the truth. Swarga bhogena chaivahi, without you, I don't want even heaven. Nakamaye yatha rajyam. I neither want the kingdom nor I want heaven, Swarga, without you. Tvam vina raghunandana. So he did not get succumb to temptation. Oh, my mother actually, she did a great job. He did not congratulate, you know, uh, Kaikeyi, saying that you have done a great job. You have won kingdom for me. Let me sit on the throne. Did he say no? Because all of them were born of prayer. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrugna. Dharma was in their blood itself. They are so passionate about practicing dharma because his mother actually had violated dharma and he felt intense distress for that because they never cared for life. Death is actually a trifling thing. Again, we'll be reborn. But we should not slip down. We should not go back on evolution. We should only progress. We should go forward. That going forward happens and becomes possible only when you practice dharma. This is the land. Today, you know, what kind of materialism we have brought in and how difficult it is to practice dharma. As Swamiji said that, you know, truth doesn't care for any society, ancient, modern. We have to devise a society, we have to adjust the society in such a way that practicing dharma becomes easy. But it has always been the same that, you know, if you have detachment and renunciation, you will be able to practice dharma even in this age also. Never, maybe a little more difficult than in the past, but it's not impossible. It is not impossible. We will be able to practice it. But provided you have that as the goal. What as the goal? The mukti as the goal. So you just see in our life, you know, we have body, mind, and soul. We all know this. So physical body, we can't do about anything. It just follows time. Okay, 80 years or 70 years, 60 years, once the time is span is over. So the body will go away. We can't do anything about its structure also. The facial features that you have got, the skin complexion that you have, nothing we can do about it. Anything. It's just a flow. It's just, right? So the soul actually, the consciousness is eternal and immutable. Nothing you can do about it. You have to bring it into your awareness. That is the struggle. So we can only modify the subtle body, the linga sarira, the mind alone actually, the samskaras alone. Body just follows nature. The spirit is eternally perfect. So where you need to work upon, you need to work upon only your mind and samskaras. So all samskaras are not good. If all the samskaras are good, actually you will not be here as a human being. So every human being actually has got good samskaras and bad samskaras, good tendencies and bad tendencies. By passionately cultivating more of good tendencies, you should be able to overcome the pull of the bad tendencies. That is the struggle. Devasara Yuddha, we say. The divine forces are there, the asuric forces are also there, demonical forces are also there in every human being. There's in all our Puranas actually this graphic description you find, beautiful description. Devasara Yuddha, Devasara and constantly fight with the asuras, the demonical forces. They are all there in our being actually, we know. It's like Mahabharata war actually is happening constantly. The Pandavas are there, the Kauravas are also there. The inimical forces are there and positive forces, beneficial forces are also there. So this war, this tug of war is going. So you side with what forces? The Asuric forces or the divine forces? To side with the divine forces, you need to have the strength of the renunciation. It's easy to side with the Asuric forces, the demonical forces. You don't have to do any effort, make any effort there. Naturally, it flows in that direction, the mind. But to check the tendency of the mind to go towards the asuric tendencies and to manifest more of that, you need to have the strength of renunciation. So you need to understand that renunciation is not a negative trait, it's a positive trait that will empower you, that will give you the tremendous strength. That will give you the tremendous strength. In fact, actually, we long for that kind of strength, but we don't cultivate this dispassion and detachment. And why don't we cultivate this dispassion and detachment? The reason is we don't meditate on death. We have made life actually more real than death. We think actually thinking about death actually is a pessimistic way. You will not be able to attain anything of this world. Not at all. You are utterly fearless and you are bold and you live for totally, in fact. It is full life for you. Now actually you are taking only half steps. What might happen in future. All the time fear about the future. Once actually you have that 100% detachment, you don't worry about the future. Future is determined by God. Okay? Everything happens by the will of Rama. Everything happens by the will of the Supreme Divine who has actually conceived this play. I'm just a helpless instrument. What he needs to give me, he will give you at a proper time. So I will take that. What I get is I get. What I deserve, I get. So I have no worry about that. What I am going to gain and what I am going to lose. I have absolutely no worry of that kind. So then you are fearless. Then is the real life, right? No tension, no stress, and no anxiety. Then actually real quality comes into our life. Otherwise, no. Without this kind of understanding, without this goal, moksha as the goal, we will not be able to conduct ourselves well. What happens if you transgress dharma? This body and mind are so intricately connected to each other. The body is actually made up of three biological humors, we say vata, kapha, and pitta. Once you transgress dharma, actually the truth that is within you will not leave you to live in peace, allow you to live in peace. Some dissatisfaction will be there from within. That's actually the reason why there is so much of restlessness in today's society. People are not so focused on dharma and because the training that we get through education is not the great training because ethics and morals have become optionals. But whereas for our people, for our ancients, for our forefathers, ethics and morals is part of life, not just life, more than life. Ethics and morals are more than life. I don't care for this life, but ethical life is. Why ethical life and moral life is important? Again, if mukti becomes your goal, ethical life and moral life becomes important. And actually, you'll be passionate about practicing morals and ethics. But once that goal is not there, satisfying this body actually, this is a very lowest dimension of a personality. That is the highest objective of life, and we don't care for moral values and ethics, they become optional for us. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, without moksha as the goal, it's not possible to keep actually the moral moorings of human being intact. Definitely actually we will dilute, will compromise with regard to honesty and with regard to values. Definitely that will happen actually. So this is Kali Yuga. This Kali Yuga actually dharma is actually on only one pillar. That means what? So we are not so oriented towards dharma because the goal itself is not properly set. So once actually you constantly transgress dharma, the equilibrium between the body and the mind gets disturbed, as it were, and that manifests as disease also. The balance between the three biological humors, actually, vata, kapha, and pitta, that gets disturbed. It automatically, the disequilibrium sets in, with age, after 150, 60, 55, naturally, actually, disequilibrium sets in. Because only through disequilibrium, annihilation happens, death happens. Death has to come because our ayurda, our lifespan, actually, is dwindling fast. So, because of that, disequilibrium actually is there in the very nature of things. But if you forego dharma, the disequilibrium sets in too fast, too early. Because it's, the kind of stress and anxiety, all that actually. This is all because we are not very particular about ethics and morals and dharma. This land, which has actually cultivated these things and practiced exceptional heroes we see in our culture, Satya Harishchandra. Okay, death stared at him, but he did not tell a lie. So we can't exhibit that kind of strength for sure. But at least, so Sri Ramakrishna says, one step you try to take towards the Lord. So this morality or ethics or dharma are the things actually which help us go towards the truth. And we'll be able to practice them to some extent at least when mukti becomes our goal. So this objective of life should be very clear. As Sri Ramakrishna says actually, Manushya Jivana Uddesh Bhagavan Labh. So the objective of human life is God realization. That's all. That is the only purpose, only objective for which we have got the embodiment. All other objectives are secondary objectives. But as we have discussed here, we have made the secondary objective the primary objective, and the primary objective has become the secondary objective, or no objective at all for most of the times. Even it is not a secondary objective for most of the people. You have forgotten the objective of life itself. Then there will be confusion. When there is so much of confusion, when there is no clarity in the mind, how actually the forces, internal forces, will be in equilibrium. This equilibrium comes automatically. So this confusion and this lack of clarity as to the purpose and objective of life is taking a heavy toll on mankind. And people ask the question actually, so why did God create this world? This point we have discussed many number of times here, but again I am repeating it. What is the purpose behind this creation? See, we have discussed this point. God has no purpose in creating this universe. That is the highest generalization that our rishis have arrived at. It is just a play. It is just a play. He just wanted to have some fun, and so he created things out of himself and then having his play. And we are all just helpmates. We are just instruments in his play, that's all. If you have that awareness all the time, nothing of this world will affect you. Because there is no gain or loss calculation. Because after all, I'm an instrument. Where is I? It's not there. Whatever that this instrument has to get, that he will decide. If I have freedom, I can choose. But I have no freedom. I am an instrument, helpless instrument in the hands of the divine. He has no purpose in creating this universe. But we actually, the best of the life, we have a purpose. We have an objective. What is that objective? To attain the truth. God has no objective in creating the universe. But we have an objective. We human beings have a purpose. That purpose is to realize the truth, to know our own true being, to know our real nature. So it's not very far, the real nature, it's not very far. In that way, it's not difficult also. It's very close, closer than the closest, closer than even the ego, closer than this I sense, closer than this limited individuality. Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of Rama was walking in the front. Sita was actually behind Rama, and Lakshmana was behind Sita. But Lakshmana, though he was so close to Rama, he was not able to see Rama because in between Sita was there. And for Lakshmana to see Rama, to be able to see Rama, Sita has to step aside. That Sita is the mind, that Sita is Maya. So this Maya, though God is very close to us, is not allowing us to see the divine who is very close to us. So this Maya in the form of desire, in the form of worldly desires comes. So we have to set that aside. So you have to pray to Mother Sita that, oh Mother, please step aside. That's actually the worship of the Divine Mother. Only when she showers her grace upon you and withdraws actually the Maya from you, and you will be able to conquer the mind. So to conquer the mind, we are struggling actually. But we find ourselves helpless most of the times. So when you go to the Creator Himself, the Divine Mother, who conceived Maya, who conceived this mind, and she will help you when you totally surrender to her will, all your prayer is so intense. Prayer is so intense, you feel so bothered about this mind, and it's troubling you, and you want to conquer it. You don't want to have the slavery. All the thoughts actually are coming there helplessly. I don't want that thoughts, but they are coming. Emotion also is just happening without my will. I don't want this kind of slavery, oh Mother. So oppressed by this nature, namely the mind, so you want to come out of this slavery and you pray to the Divine Mother passionately or your chosen deity, Ishtadaivam, and you can become successful in winning the grace of your Ishtadaiva, the Divine Mother, and then you will be able to transcend the mind. Then you are a yogi, you are a mystic, you are consciousness, you are one with the Supreme. So that is the possibility. We all have it. So God has no purpose in creating this universe, but we have a purpose, that is to realize God, to know the truth, to know the Lord. So Rama is very close to us. In between Sita, Mother Sita is there. So pray to Sita, ask Mother Sita to step aside so that I can see Rama. This should be our prayer. This Lakshmana is the Jivatma and Rama actually is the Paramatma. In between actually this mind has come. Maya has come. Mother, Divine Mother is there, Sita. So pray passionately, surrender to her will. Understand that you are just an helpless instrument. Lord knows how to play, how to use his instrument. Not I, but thou, O Lord. Not I, but thou. Not I, but you. So this body, this being actually, is an instrument in your hands. Thou made this instrument for thy play, and thou playest with thy instrument according to thy will. You created this instrument for your play, and you play with your instrument according to your will, O Lord. That should be our prayer constantly. So we shall stop here for today. Now it's time for Arati. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम् तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
ખંડન ભવબંધન જગવંદન વંદિતો માં નિરંજન નરરૂપ ધર નિરંજન નરરૂપ ધર નિર્ગુણ ગુણમાં મોચન અઘદૂષણ જગભૂષણ છિદ્ઘન જ્ઞાનાંજન વિમલ નયન જ્ઞાનાંજન વિમલ નયન વીક્ષણે ભાસ્વર ભાવસાગર ચિરઉન્માદ પ્રેમ પથા ભક્તાર્જન યુગલ ચરણ ભક્તાર્જન યુગલ ચરણ તારણ ભવ ગમ્ભીત યોગેશ્વર જગધીશ્વર યોગ સમાહિત મન નિરોધન સમાહિત મન નિરખિત भय गत संशय दृढ निश्चय मानसा निष्कारण भवगोष्पद वारियथा प्रेमार्पण समदर्शन प्रेमार्पण समदर्शन जग जन दुःख जान नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनातीत नमो नमो प्रभु वाक्य मनातीत मनोवचनैकाधार प्रभु मनोवचनैकाधार ॐ ह्रीं ऋतं त्वमचलो गुणजेद्गुणेद्यः नक्तं दिवं सकरुणं तव पाद पद्मं मोहं कषं बहुकृतं न भजे यतोऽहं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीन बन्धो भक्तिर्भगश्च भजनं भवभेद कारी गच्छन्त्यलं सुविपुलं गमनाय तत्त्वं वक्त्रोद्धृतोऽपि हृदये न च भाति किञ्चित् तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीन बन्धो तेजस्तरन्ति तरसा त्वयि तृप्त तृष्णाः रागे कृते ऋतपथे त्वयि राम कृष्णे मर्त्यामृतं तव पदं मरणोर्मे नाशं तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीन बन्धो कृत्यं करोति कलुषं कुहकान्तकारे स्नान्तं शिवं सुविमलं तव नाम नाथ यस्मादहं त्वशरणो जगदेक गम्या तस्मात् त्वमेव शरणं मम दीन बन्धो ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। ॐ नमः श्री भगवते रामकृष्णाय नमो नमः। सर्वमङ्गल माङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। सृष्टि स्थितिविनाशानां शक्तिभूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमाये नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। शरणागता दीनार्ता परित्राण परायणे सर्वस्यार्ति हरे देवी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। जय नारायणी नामोस्तुते जय नारायणी नामोस्तुते। प्रकृतिं परमाम् अभयां वरदां नररूपधरां जनतापहरां शरणागतसेवकतोषकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगता गुणहीनसुतान् अपराधयुतान् कृपयाद्य समुद्धर मोहगतान् तरणीं भवसागर पारकरीं प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां विषयं कुसुमं परिहृत्य सदा चरणाम्बुरुहामृतशान्तिसुधां पिबवृङ्गमनो भवरोगहरां प्रणमामि परां जननीं जगतां कृपां कुरु महादेवी सुतेषु प्रणतेषु च चरणाश्रयदानेन कृपामयि नमोऽस्तु ते लज्जापटावृते नित्यं शारदे ज्ञानदायिके पापेभ्यो नः सदा रक्ष कृपामयि नमोऽस्तु ते रामकृष्णगतप्राणां तन्नाम श्रवणप्रियां तद्भावरञ्जिताकारां प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। देवीं प्रसन्नां प्रणतार्तिहन्त्रीं योगेन्द्रपूजां युगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दयास्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यं। स्नेहेन बध्नासि मानोऽस्मदीयं दोषान् शेषान् सगुणीकरोषि आहेतुनानो दयसे सदोषान् स्वाङ्के गृहीत्वा यदिदं विचित्रम् प्रसीद मातर्विनयेन याचे नित्यं भव स्नेहवते सुतेषु प्रेमैकबिन्दुं चिरदग्धचित्ते विषिञ्च चित्तं कुरु न सुशान्तम् जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः.
नामावली. विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
सद्गुरुनाथं गौरीसुतं सद्गुरुनाथं गौरीसुतं सद्गुरुनाथं गौरीसुतं
सद्गुरुनाथं गौरीसुतं
जय शिवनन्दन विघ्नेश्वरं
जय शिवनन्दन विघ्नेश्वरं
जय शिवनन्दन विघ्नेश्वरं
जय शिवनन्दन विघ्नेश्वरं
प्रणवानन्दं देवीसुतं प्रणवानन्दं देवीसुतं प्रणवानन्दं देवीसुतं
प्रणवानन्दं देवीसुतं
सिद्धिविनायक विघ्नेश्वरं विद्यादायक गौरीसुतं सिद्धिविनायक विघ्नेश्वरं विद्यादायक गौरीसुतं सिद्धिविनायक विघ्नेश्वरं विद्यादायक गौरीसुतं सिद्धिविनायक विघ्नेश्वरं विद्यादायक गौरीसुतं विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
सद्गुरुनाथं गौरीसुतं सद्गुरुनाथं गौरीसुतं जय शिवनन्दन विघ्नेश्वरं जय शिवनन्दन विघ्नेश्वरं प्रणवानन्दं देवी सुतं प्रणवानन्दं देवी सुतं सिद्धिविनायक विघ्नेश्वरं विद्यादायक गौरीसुतं सिद्धिविनायक विघ्नेश्वरं विद्यादायक गौरीसुतं विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
विघ्नेश्वरं भज विघ्नेश्वरं
शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं
शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं
शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं शरणं शरणं देवी सुतं पेज 25 पशूनां पतिं पापनाशं परेशं पशूनां पतिं पापनाशं परेशं गजेन्द्रस्य कृत्तिं वसानं वरेण्यं गजेन्द्रस्य कृत्तिं वसानं वरेण्यं गजेन्द्रस्य कृतिं वसानं वरेण्यं गजेन्द्रस्य कृतिं वसानं वरेण्यं जटाजूटमध्ये स्फुरद्गङ्गावारिं जटाजूटमध्ये
स्फुरद्गङ्गावारिं
महादेवमेकं स्मरामि स्मरारिं स्मरामि स्मरारिम् महेशं सुरेशं सुरारातिनाशं
महेशं सुरेशं सुरारातिनाशं
विभुं विश्वनाथं विभूत्यङ्गभूषं विभुं विश्वनाथं विभूत्यङ्गभूषं विरूपाक्षमिन्द्वर्कवह्नित्रिनेत्रं विरूपाक्षमिन्द्वर्कवह्नित्रिनेत्रं सदानन्दमीडे प्रभुं पञ्चवक्त्रं प्रभुं पञ्चवक्त्रं प्रभुं पञ्चवक्त्रम् गिरीशं गणेशं गले नीलवर्णं
गिरीशं गणेशं गले नीलवर्णं
गवेन्द्राधिरूढं गुणातीतरूपं गवेन्द्राधिरूढं गुणातीतरूपं भवं भास्वरं भस्मना भूषिताङ्गं भवं
भास्वरं भस्मना भूषिताङ्गं
भवानी कलत्रं भजे पञ्चवक्त्रं भजे पञ्चवक्त्रं भजे
पञ्चवक्त्रम्
शिवाकान्तशम्भो शशाङ्कार्धमौले
शिवाकान्तशम्भो शशाङ्कार्धमौले
महेशानशूलिञ्जटाजूटधारिन् महेशानशूलिञ्जटाजूटधारिन् त्वमेको जगद्व्यापको विश्वरूप त्वमेको
जगद्व्यापको
विश्वरूप प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभो पूर्णरूप प्रभो पूर्णरूप प्रभो पूर्णरूप प्रभो पूर्णरूप नामावली ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर
आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर
ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर
ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर
आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर आदिनाथ श्री
केदारेश्वर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
डिमिडिमि डमरुनि नाद शिवा
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 डिमिडिमि डमरु निनाद शिवा
डिमिडिमि डमरुनि नाद शिवा
डिमिडिमि डमरु निनाद शिवा
डिमिडिमि डमरुनि नाद शिवा
ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर
ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर
ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर
ब्रह्मपरात्पर पूर्णमहेश्वर
आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर
आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर
आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर
आदिनाथ श्री केदारेश्वर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
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 बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
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 बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
बिल्वदल प्रिय चंद्रकलाधर
डिमिडिमि डमरुनि नाद शिवा
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 निनाद शिवा निनाद शिवा निनाद शिवा
निनाद शिवा
निनाद शिवा
निनाद शिवा
निनाद शिवा
निनाद शिवा
निनाद నినాద శివా
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 డిమిడిమిడమరు 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 నినాద శివా
డిమిడిమిడమరు
నినాద శివా పేజ్ 8 8 తప్పదే నా తల్లి ననుగావ నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి
తప్పదే
తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే
ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు
తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి
తప్పదే
తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే నీ శరణు జొచ్చి నేదరి చేరినాను నీ శరణు జొచ్చి నేదరి చేరినాను పంజర స్థితమైన పక్షి రీతిగను నీ శరణు జొచ్చి నేదరి చేరినాను పంజర స్థితమైన పక్షి రీతిగను తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే ననుగావ
నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే
అగణితంబైనట్టి అపరాధములు చేసి దిక్కుతోచక నేను తిరుగాడుచున్నాను అగణితంబైనట్టి అపరాధములు చేసి దిక్కుతోచక నేను తిరుగాడుచున్నాను తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే
తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే
మాయాతంత్రము చేత మతి తప్పి విజ్ఞాన మాయాతంత్రము చేత మతి తప్పి విజ్ఞాన దీప్తి గోల్పోయి నే తిరుగాడుచున్నాను మాయాతంత్రము చేత మతి తప్పి విజ్ఞాన దీప్తి గోల్పోయి నే తిరుగాడుచున్నాను తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే ననుగావ
నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే
తన దూడా గోల్పోయి ఓదార్పు నేరని ఆవువలె ఆర్తితో అల్లాడుచున్నాను తన దూడా గోల్పోయి ఓదార్పు నేరని ఆవువలె ఆర్తితో అల్లాడుచున్నాను తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే ననుగావ నా తల్లి నీకు
తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే
తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి
తప్పదే
తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే తప్పదే అమ్మ తప్పదే తప్పదే అమ్మ తప్పదే తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే నీకిక తప్పదే తల్లి తప్పదే
सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे मन अमृत बरा है रामचंद्र का नाम मनवा रामचंद्र का नाम सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे मन अमृत बरा है रामचंद्र का नाम मनवा रामचंद्र का नाम रामचंद्र का नाम जन्म जन्म भर राम भजन कर जन्म
जन्म राम भजन कर
जन्म जन्म भर राम भजन कर जन्म जन्म
राम भजन कर
पुर के मन का काम जन्म जन्म भर
राम भजन कर
पुर के मन का काम जन्म जन्म भर राम भजन कर पुर के मन का काम
जन्म जन्म भर राम भजन कर पुर के मन का काम
सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम
बोलो बोलो सिया राम 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 बोलो बोलो
सिया राम
सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे मन अमृत भरा है रामचंद्र का नाम मनवा रामचंद्र का नाम रामचंद्र का नाम रामचंद्र का नाम
रामचंद्र का नाम
नारायण नरवेश पहावे राजपूत बन जगत में आवे नारायण नरवेश पहावे राजपूत बन जगत में आवे अपार लीला जग को दिखावे अपार लीला जग को दिखावे भजले से वही राम भजले से वही राम सीताराम 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 सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम
बोलो बोलो सिया राम 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 सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे सुनो रे मन अमृत भरा है रामचंद्र का नाम मनवा रामचंद्र का नाम रामचंद्र का नाम रामचंद्र का नाम नामावली। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे
राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Rama Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Krishna Hare Hare. రెండు 206 రామస్వరూప కృష్ణస్వరూప రామకృష్ణ నమోస్తుతే రామస్వరూప కృష్ణస్వరూప రామకృష్ణ నమోస్తుతే రామస్వరూప కృష్ణస్వరూప రామకృష్ణ నమోస్తుతే
రామస్వరూప కృష్ణస్వరూప రామకృష్ణ నమోస్తుతే
सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा
परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते
दीनरक्षका दीनपोषका रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते दीनरक्षका दीनपोषका रामकृष्ण
नमोऽस्तु ते
दिव्यतनुभव दीनबान्धव परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते दिव्यतनुभव दीनबान्धव परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण
नमोऽस्तु ते
सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा
परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते
भगवस्वरूपा भासुरतेजा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते भगवस्वरूपा भासुरतेजा रामकृष्ण
नमोऽस्तु ते
पापविदारा पावनचरिता परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते पापविदारा पावनचरिता परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते भगवस्वरूपा भासुरतेजा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते भगवस्वरूपा
भासुरतेजा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते
पापविदारा पावनचरिता परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते पापविदारा पावनचरिता परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा
रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते
सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा
परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते
नीरजलोचन निर्मल सदना रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते नीरजलोचन निर्मल
सदना रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते
नीरजलोचन निर्मल सदना रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते
नीरजलोचन निर्मल सदना रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते
पतित पावन पावन नाम परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते पतित पावन पावन नाम परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते पतित पावन पावन नाम परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते पतित पावन
पावन नाम परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते
रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते रामस्वरूपा
कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण नमोऽस्तु ते
सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोऽस्तु ते रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण नमोस्तुते रामस्वरूपा कृष्णस्वरूपा रामकृष्ण नमोस्तुते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोस्तुते सकलस्वरूपा शान्तस्वरूपा परमहंसा नमोस्तुते परमहंसा नमोस्तुते
परमहंसा नमोस्तुते
परमहंसा नमोस्तुते परमहंसा नमोस्तुते जय भगवान श्री राम कृष्ण देव की जय जय श्री शारदा माई की
जय
जय स्वामी विवेकानंद महाराज जी की
जय।
जय।